My skin doesn't fit anymore. It started out small, just a little patch above my left pinky. You know how on your knuckles you can kind of move and squish the skin? It was like that, but more. I could pull that little patch of skin several inches suddenly. It didn't hurt or anything. It actually felt kind of good. Soothing almost. Anytime I got stressed, I would find my fingers running over the loose, stretchy skin, playing with it, folding it, molding it to my heart's content. Then one morning, it happened. I was getting ready for work and pulling my socks on. I felt a weird shift on my foot. Confused, I pulled my sock off, only for my heart to skip a beat. The skin that once hung from the bottom of my foot now sagged loosely. I reached my hand down and touched it. Chills shot through my body. The feeling was unreal. I grabbed onto the loose skin and began tugging at it, pulling it closer to my calves. I cried out in pain and joy. I wanted more. The next few days I stayed held up in my home. Nothing mattered except the exquisite joy of my skin clinging loosely to my body. Some parts seemed to dangle on their own. Some I pulled loose. I preferred the ones I pulled. It felt more intimate and exciting. I felt more limber and full of energy than ever. I could reach parts of my body like never before. Even if I couldn't reach it at first, I would begin pulling at the nearby flesh until it released, sending orgasmic bolts through my body. I truly wish I could explain how this felt during the release. Eventually, my worst fear came true. I had nothing left to pull. I was disfigured and horrifying. My skin hung limply from my skeleton. My face was a disgusting mess of flesh drooping several inches from where it once was. I could no longer talk or express myself properly as everything was so loose. That didn't matter though. All that mattered was finding a way to regain the pleasure of release again. I began pulling at every inch, trying to find a piece that hadn't been released but to no avail, until I felt that icy prick of release returned. Not like it was before though. It was different, even better. Upon investigation, I found the source of this pleasure. A tear, a rip in my own flesh. No blood came through though. It was just an open hole where my skin had once been solid. I pulled at it again, opening it up just a little bit further. Almost passed out from the pleasure I felt. This was it. This is what I had been searching for. Tugging and pulling, folding and stretching. I kept working at the hole. The feeling was divine, as the hole grew from only a few centimeters to a few inches and further. It began to resemble more of a creature's maw as I worked my fingers deep inside, tearing away. I moaned louder and louder as I felt my body give out under the waves of pleasure. I needed more though. I needed to keep pulling and tearing, ripping deeper into the soft pink flesh that was once so tight against me. After many hours, possibly days, I ripped the last bits. My once tight flesh laid at my feet in ribbons. I felt so alone now. My raw muscles twitching against the cold air. the pain of each step as the nerves in my feet stepped over my shredded parts and hit the hardwood floor again. I stared at the mirror in disbelief of what I had done to myself. I was unrecognizable, just raw meat in the shape of a human now. What was I supposed to do? I did the only thing I can think to do. I reached up and began to pull at my face, hoping to find a new, deeper release. Digging my fingers deep into the red muscle. Please, someone help. I want to feel that release again.